This is the liquid, which is water, and here are the tea leaves, and we're going to put the tea leaves into the filter.
Filtration allows separation of liquids from solids. The material left behind in the filter paper is called residue. The material that passes through the filter is called filtrate. Here the hot water pours onto the tea leaves and passes through the filter into the glass. The tea water is the filtrate, while the residue left behind is the tea leaves. The filter ensures the separation of the tea leaves from water, even though the two were added together. The result is tea-tasting water. This can only be achieved by a filter because it allows the water to pick up qualities of the tea without allowing the solid leaves to enter the liquid.
Hand separation is the use of a sieve to separate a mechanical mixture, comprised of both liquid and solid. Here, our mechanical mixture is macaroni noodles as a solid and water as the liquid. The two are mixed together in a pot. The contents are emptied over a sieve. The sieve catches the solids while letting the water pass through.
For distillation, 40 ml of ethyl and 80 ml of water is placed in the bulb of the distillation setup. The bulb is placed in boiling water and a thermometer is put in the distillation flask. A cylinder called a condenser is attached to the neck of the flask. The condenser is separated into an inner and outer tube. The outer tube is filled with circulating cold water and is sealed off from the rest of the condenser. The inner tube is connected to the neck of the flask because ethyl's boiling point is 77.1 degrees Celsius and water is 100 degrees Celsius. The temperature of the flask is kept at 80 degrees so the ethyl changes phases into a gas and travels up into the condenser. Once it hits the cool condenser, it cools down and returns to a liquid state, travels down the condenser and drops out into the beaker. This separates the water from ethyl because the water will remain in the liquid phase as the ethyl travels out. We made it. Separation, we use sand as the solid and water as the liquid. Place the test tubes across from each other into the centrifuge. Close the lid and set the timer for the time that you want. This results into a mechanical mixture. We are using the centrifuge that spins the test tubes at a high speed, forcing the dense solid to push down to the bottom of the tube by the gravity produced from the centrifuge spinning. The solids and liquids will separate once this is finished.
After 5 minutes, the centrifuge has separated the sand from the water completely.
Down the sink with lots of water, or take it outside and light it on fire.
Recrystallization is a variation of evaporation where a solid and liquid solution is separated into a pure state. The solvent, water, is formed on the hot plate. The saturated solid, benzoic acid, is added to a flask. Once the water is warm, it is added to the flask of benzoic acid by an eyedropper. Enough water to cover the acid is required. Next, a boiling stick is added to prevent bubbles. Over time, the benzoic acid will form crystals.
Do time lapse. Actually, never mind.
I don't have time left.
It's okay.
It's okay, it's going pretty fast. I'm speaking in the back of this video.
Oh, it's going.
Oh, yeah.
I can smell it.
It's not the dye. That's not the dye.
Look at this color. Yeah.
Science rules.
Okay. Can we keep going? Look at that.
Chromatography.
Yeah. Okay, go. In chromatography, 3 different colored dyes are dotted onto a piece of filter paper. When the bottom of the strip is placed in water, the water will travel up and hit the dye, and the dyes will travel upward.
We are extracting a dissolved liquid and solid from a liquid solution. We are using a separatory funnel with a layer of oil with dissolved sugar on the bottom and a layer of water on the top. All were mixed together, and over time the sugar will drop to the bottom, the oil will sit on top of the sugar, and the water will rest on top of the oil. They separate in this way because of their densities.
Evaporation allows a solid and liquid solution to evaporate or be boiled away, leaving the solid behind. In this experiment, rocks and water are mixed together. Both are boiled over the hot plate. Over time, the water will change phases into a gas and evaporate completely, leaving the solid, which is the sand, behind as a pure substance.